first thing is Mark Bryant here. Mark Bryant. Okay, Sean Wiseman needs to see you at the table if you're here. Okay? Hey, we get some good sleep tonight? Last night we're good. We got some breakfast? Good, because these college coaches coming to see you today want to see you play through that fatigue. They want to see you play tight. Okay? Just like Coach Dixon, I coached in the college level for the last 10 years. Coached all 3 levels and a little bit of NAIA, so I understand how the entire recruiting process works. Certainly want to tell you guys a number of things that can help you guys out through the recruiting process. Okay? First thing, the number one thing I need to tell you, advice-wise, with getting recruited, is tuning out the wrong people. Listening to the right advice only. Making sure that you're not influenced by anybody who's giving you bad advice. At all times, like Coach Dixon said, make sure you're casting a wide net. Making sure you're looking at all different levels and not big-timing certain schools that you may or may not be interested in. That's number one, and that is key. Keep in mind that you absolutely have no options until you have some choices. You know what I mean? You can't get, unless you have an offer, you can't make a choice. You really have no options whatsoever. So you've got to make sure you keep an open mind, all right? As a college basketball coach, there was 3 things I would look for when I came to these events. And I've gone to many maximum exposure events, many of them. I've met a lot of good people. You never know who you're going to meet. I met one of my closest friends who's actually the founder and the owner of STUDENTathleteWorld, filming right here next to me. Okay, right here at the maximum exposure event 6 years ago. It's a great event. You guys are very, very lucky to be a part of it. You should be very fortunate, thankful to your parents. Okay, understand there's 3 things as a coach I'm looking for. And keep this in mind. First thing I'm looking for is athleticism. Okay, is this kid athletic? He may or may not be, but I want to see how athletic he is. How quick is he? How fast is he? How high can he jump? How quick can he move? Second thing I'm looking for are skills. How are his skills? How can he handle the ball? How can he shoot the ball? How can he pass the ball? How is he on defense, on and off the ball? Those are things I'm looking for. Okay, but the number one thing I'm searching for in high school basketball players to recruit to my team is his intangibles. Okay? Is he a proactive young man? Okay? Is he a guy that I can depend on? Is he going to be on time to practice? Is he a yes sir, no sir type guy? Is he a guy that's going to give me problems off the court? How are his grades? All right? And my requirements for recruiting an athlete is I got to have 2 of those 3. And at least one of those has to be intangibles. So he's got to have intangibles, number 1. Number 2, he's either got to have skills or athleticism. Now, if he has all 3, that's great. That's great. And keep in mind, coaches are watching you. And coaches talk. All right? When you guys go out with girls, when you guys go out to a movie or you go to the mall, what happens when a girl's got to go to the bathroom? All of a sudden, they all got to go to the bathroom, right? Now, what are they doing when they're in the bathroom? Who are they talking about? Talking about you. They're not talking about the movie. They're not talking about it. They're talking about you. It's the same thing with coaches. When coaches get together, who are they talking about? You. Doesn't matter if they coach for the other team. They're talking about other basketball players, and they're talking about how good their attitude is, how rotten their attitude is, how good a player is, how bad a player they are. Okay? Understand this. Put this in your mindset. There's, what, 150 kids here maybe? I'm not sure. Players? There's 552,000 high school basketball players. 552,000. You know how many are on college rosters? About 27,000. So when you do the math, it's less than 5% of high school basketball players make it to the college level. How many college freshmen are at the Division I level? 340 Division I schools nationwide. How many college freshmen are there? About 650 per year. When you do the math, that's 15 per state. 15 kids in every state on average will make it to the Division I level. You've got to cast a wide net. You've got to look at more options. There's about 2,000 college basketball programs. 2,000. And only 340 of them are Division I. So you certainly got to keep your options open. Okay, you guys all probably know a little bit about the NCAA levels and how they're separated. Scholarship-wise, NCAA Division I has 13 full scholarships. That's it. That's international players. That's junior college players. Okay, that's high school players. Okay, Division II has 10 scholarships, and they can break that up by the penny how they want with each and every player. Division III, they have absolutely no athletic scholarships. Absolutely none. You know how you're affording to go to a Division III school? Academic scholarships and government aid. Okay? So grades are super important in that case. Then you have NAIAs that fluctuate in their scholarship levels as well. They have Division I and II in NAIA. And you have junior colleges. They have Division I, II, and III in junior college, which comprises all these 2,000 schools. Okay? It doesn't matter really which level you go to. Some kids say, I got to go D1 if I ever want to play after college. That's not true. Okay? I was Division II head coach for 4 years. I've got a lot of players playing overseas right now. A lot of players. I got Division III buddies who are coaches. I got a lot of players playing overseas. That doesn't matter. Cast a wide net. Okay? Make sure you guys understand that. Let me talk to you guys here just a little bit about the 5 major recruiting mistakes that families commonly make. And then we can get to basketball shortly after. Okay? Number 1, too many players and families target schools above their ability level. Understand that every team out there in the world has a leading scorer. So just because you're the leading scorer doesn't mean you're going D1. Doesn't mean you're going D2. Doesn't mean you're going D3. It doesn't matter, okay? Too many schools, they just limit the schools that they're going to look at, okay? And that's not a good idea. You've got to make sure you're keeping that mentality like, I'm open to everybody, I'm showing interest to everybody. I don't have that big-time mentality. Because you know what happens when you have that big-time mentality? Many times I've called players this time of year, and they answer my call once or twice. Come April or May, they're thinking, oh, that's just a D2 guy. I got D1 scholarships coming. And then in May, they call me, Coach Schueler, I don't have a scholarship offer. You still recruiting me? Heck no, I'm not recruiting. You blew me off for 7 or 8 months. You blew me off for 7 or 8 months. You've got to make sure you're not targeting schools above your ability level. Number 2, too many families contact too few schools. They contact too few schools. They're not doing a good job of making sure they're staying in touch with multiple schools and showing interest in every school that shows interest to them. I was a Division II head coach. In year 2008, I brought in 4 players. 4. That's all. Okay? How many of you think I had in my database? Give me some guesses. How many? 5. How many of you guys said? 10? 550 were in my database to bring in 4 players. I have a very good friend who was a Division III coach. Same year. Same number of players they brought in. How many do you think he had in his database? How many? 600. How many? 332. Any more guesses? 500. He had 1,103 in his database to bring in 4 players. Okay? Now, how many of those players you think got a letter in the mail from that college? From me. Every single one of them. How many of those players you think got a letter in the mail saying, hey, come attend our camp? Every single one of them. How many players got a letter in the mail that said, hey, call us if you want to come to a game and we'll give you free tickets? Every single one of them. How many of you think I called on the phone and actually knew who they were? 20, 30, maybe? Maybe? Okay? You know, it's got to be a personal touch. Don't think you're big time because you're getting a letter in the mail. It's got to be a personal touch. Did they write you individually? Did they call you? Those are things you got to think about. Okay? Third biggest mistake families make. They have a false sense of security. Like I said, getting letters in the mail, what does that mean? Okay, it really means nothing. Honestly, it's probably an 18-year-old work-study girl that works in the men's basketball office that's sending those letters in the mail. Okay, it's got to be a personal touch. You've got to understand that. 4th thing, the biggest mistake that a lot of high school players and families will make. They wait until it's too late for something to happen. Fellas, senior year is too late. Senior year is too late. Okay, 75% of college coaches develop that database for your recruiting graduating year by the end of your sophomore year. Sophomore year is definitely the most popular. Freshman year, they've begun it most of the time. Junior year, they're getting the finishing touches. Senior year, a lot of times they're not starting that database. Now, they may find you and say, hey, he's a good player, but you're also down the line with all the other players they already have on that database. Understand that, okay? Make sure you get it. The last thing, they expect their coach to do most of the work. Okay? It's like Coach Dixon said. Everybody blames it on their high school coach. It's not your high school coach's job to get you recruited, fellas. It's your job. You got to make sure you understand that. That is your job. You've got to make sure you're putting yourself out there. Coaches are busy, guys. They have families. They've got a job. They've got wife and kids. They've got other responsibilities. They can't help you out as much as you'd like to. Okay? And understand that a lot of what we do at Student Athlete World is help athletes get recruited. We've helped multiple athletes get to colleges nationwide. Okay? In like 23 different states across the country, we've helped kids get there. Okay? We're going to be here for about an hour, hour and a half. If anybody's interested in getting any more, any ideas, any questions answered that you may have, and how you can help to get recruited and get exposure to these 2,000 different colleges across the country, you guys and your families, come see us before we head out. We also got a book that we sell for $20. You guys are more than welcome to come check it out. Okay? It's the complete do-it-yourself guide to college athletic recruiting. All right? Because we're on limited time right here, let's be sure that I'm going to wrap it up here, but if you guys have any questions whatsoever, just make sure you guys come check us out. Okay? Thank you.
All right. Thank you.